Why is nursing such a difficult major? Is it because people give up too soon, or because people don't want to put the effort in the first place, because they know how hard it is? But it should be hard. People, living people, are placed in our hands every second in nursing, and it's our job to help fix whatever their circumstance may be. Nursing is a major that you are always going to be guaranteed a job, so why don't you just put the effort in the beginning to always have a job in your future? Ever since I was little, I wanted to become a nurse in pediatrics. Learning about anatomy and watching medical shows was something I loved, and it just seemed to be something I was good at. I could learn something in the field, and it would just make sense, and I could recite it to whoever wanted to learn. However, when I told people nursing is what I wanted, I was told, choose a different major, that's too difficult, but nursing is what I want. So, I went to Fitchburg State to ask current students, freshmen through senior, their thoughts on the nursing program.
I got into nursing because I really wanted to make a difference in people's lives, and I felt like nursing was a great way to do that on like a smaller scale, a really individual scale. And I also just have always loved like the science kind of component of things and being able to really look at a patient as a whole.
So I chose nursing as a major because a lot of my family members are nurses, and they always tell stories about like their experience, and I always thought it was super interesting and a career that I could definitely see myself getting behind.
Ever since my first job, I worked in healthcare, so I knew I wanted to be in that field for my career, and I just kind of decided nursing was the way to go.
I chose nursing just because I wanted to go into a field that would help people, and I felt like I was making a difference.
I chose nursing because a lot of my families had past issues with health, and I want to be able to help other families with that issue.
I started with asking students what the hardest part of getting into a nursing program was and what they thought was the hardest part of staying in the program.
Hardest part of getting into a nursing program, I would say, is just having the right GPA and SAT scores, and also like having a good amount of extracurricular activities. Hardest part about staying in the program is just the level of intensity. It's very intense, very rigorous. There definitely are times where you just don't get much social life at all, and it's definitely a sacrifice you have to make. I think nursing students really have a different college experience compared to other majors just because it is a lot of work. So that's probably the hardest part of staying in.
I'd say the hardest part is just the application process and making sure your grades are fit into the program and their standards, and knowing that you have to kind of look into those standards at a younger age than you expect to.
The hardest part of getting to a nursing program is probably just making sure you have like the right GPA and having built up resume with like a bunch of extracurriculars and a good job experience. I would suggest having experience in the healthcare field, whether that be like as a CNA or PCA in a hospital or a nursing home, because it really gets your foot in to see if you actually like the career, which is something that I did to make sure that I do like nursing. The hardest part of staying in the nursing program is keeping up your grades. I'd say to keep up with the schoolwork is to make sure that you use your resources on campus, whether that be the tutor center if you're struggling. And if you're struggling, get help early so that you don't fall behind. And always see your professors or teachers.
I think it's just to push yourself to not give up. A lot of nursing students will quit their freshman or sophomore year because the program is so hard and they feel like they can't do it, but they should power through and do it.
The hardest part of staying in a nursing program is definitely time management. You definitely need to manage your time with studying, and it's just a lot of stress. You're definitely under a lot of stress all the time.
I then asked students what they thought was the most important thing to look for when looking into different nursing schools.
When choosing a nursing school, the thing that I think is most important to look for is the passing rates of the NCLEX. Every school has rates posted of what percentage of students pass the NCLEX on the first try, and that's one of the major things I looked for when applying to nursing.
You should look for a school that's good and fits your needs and has good flexibility for where you want to go, and that pushes you to drive further in your program.
I think you should look for an accredited school, because if you're going to be paying money for that education, you definitely want to make sure it's accredited. And definitely high NCLEX pass rates, because that shows you how well the school prepares you.
I think they should look for a program that sparks their interest and allows them to do clinicals in a field that they're interested in, whether that's pediatrics, bedside, or like nursing home.
Asking this question made me realize just how important the NCLEX exam is. That is an exam that you take after graduation. It is a 135-question exam, and you have 5 hours to complete it. Once you pass it, you become a registered nurse and can start practicing at any hospital. I then asked students if they thought it was a good idea to room with other nursing students.
I would definitely recommend rooming with other nursing students. I lived in a nursing community in one of our residential halls on campus my freshman year, and it was amazing because I'm still friends with most of the people who I was on that hall with. So I would definitely recommend. And you can always it's easy to just knock on someone's door and ask for help if you ever need it.
I actually lived with 3 nursing students. We were all in the nursing program, and we would all just go to the library late at night and study with each other, and if one of us didn't understand something, the other one would, so it's definitely beneficial to live with each other.
After talking to these students, it had opened my eyes to what a nursing program is all about. Even though nursing is one of the hardest majors, which it should be because people's lives are in your hands, it's not going to stop me, and I cannot wait to start my journey in the nursing program.